Hi everyone, today I'm doing a watercolour sketchbook tour and I'm really excited because I've been working on it all week to finish it and I finally finished it about an hour ago. So I'm using a Windsor and Newton sketchbook, and then for the watercolours I basically used everything that I own. The Windsor and Newton watercolours, the Gansai Tambi watercolours, Dr. P.H. Martin liquid watercolours, the Ecoline liquid watercolours, Ecoline Brushpens, and then the Daniel Smith watercolours. And I think that's everything. Oh, and some Gansai Starry colours and Windsor and Newton gold ink. And a bunch of brushes. Okay, so let's get started, I guess. So this is the Windsor and Newton sketchbook, like I said. My goals were to practice. I started March the 5th and I finished today, July the 8th. And then this is just a little thing I got from Harriet Julia. I'll link her below, when I got a print from her, so that was pretty cool. So to begin with, I just swatched out the watercolours I had at that time. So these are Windsor and Newton. The Windsor and Newton are so chalky now that I've been using other watercolours. These were the Dr. P.H. Martins, Kuretake Gansai Tambi. And then I'm pretty sure I watched a bunch of tutorials on how to do skin tones. So I will link them below, I have to find them. But I basically went through, I think for this, when I first started this watercolour sketchbook, I really wanted to focus on people and getting the skin tones right, but that kind of disintegrated halfway through because I just did whatever I wanted. So these were mixing skin tones with Windsor and Newton. And then I practiced drawing people. And even though this was only a couple of months ago, I've improved so much drawing faces. So that's really cool to look back on. So these are some more people practices. These are actually all the same people. Like, I found a series of photos by the same person. And as you can see, I had very varying, being good at. Like this face here it's pretty bad. I quite like this one though. She's got a little cheeky grin. And then I drew this one. This is all still Windsor and Newton. I drew this one and then I didn't think the proportions looked very good, so I drew it again, which I did a couple of times in the sketchbook just because I really wanted to get better at drawing people. But I don't think either of them are very good, to be honest. But it was watercolour practice and I quite like the skin tones in this one. And then I did some weird, you know how you see really cool people do leaves and flowers and they make all the colours look nice. I was trying to do that and some random swatches with the Windsor and Newton. I don't really like how these look after using other watercolours. Now I look back on these and they just look really chalky and kind of dull. I don't know. So then I tried to do darker skin tones. I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I really like this skin tone here that I got. And then this was trying to use more colourful colours, unnatural colours. I think I just literally put the paint on the paper without mixing it first. That was pretty fun. And now this is where it begins, where I got obsessed with negative painting and I try to improve. So over the next few pages I am basically trying different watercolours. I think this is the Ecoline watercolours. These are the Dr. P.H. Martins swatches. These are really staining, they're so hard to use. Some more negative painting, I just kind of turned into a little image. And then back to people. So you can see here the Dr. P.H. Martins are so bright, and once you put them on the page there's kind of no turning back, so it's quite challenging to use those. Some more negative painting stuff. I think I actually have a video about this online. I have to check. I think I made a video. Yeah, I was trying to get better at it, but it was really fun. I think it's a lot more challenging than it looks. This one here I'm quite happy with. And then I started using the Gansai Tambi watercolours, so swatched those out. And I think I used the Gansai Tambi for pretty much the rest of it until I got my Daniel Smith watercolours. So more people practice, trying to do skin tones, kind of some crazy colours. Sometimes I would spend ages doing the watercolor like weeks and weeks, and then I'd go away, and then when I came back I would forget how to do watercolor. So they're kind of varying levels of being good or bad. These were the Ecoline liquid watercolors. I got these, and I think I did this in it, and they kind of like the Dr. P.H. Martin's, super crazy and colorful. And I tried to mix the Ecoline liquid watercolors with white ink to make them pastel-y, and it kind of just looked like really chalky and muddy. I think on here they look quite nice though, these swatches. Some smoothie recipes that I did, some of my smoothies that I like. I just wanted to try something different. And then here, these are actually two of my favorite pages in the entire sketchbook, even though technically they're not really watercolor, it's just like a watercolor background, and then I painted over the top with a darker watercolor. I just really like it. I really love this face here. So this was doing Gansai Tambi. I think this is all Gansai Tambi actually. This is like a kind of a comic book feel, I guess. I'm not really into it. This here I quite like, it's quite soft. I was kind of going in between using outlines and not using outlines. And this was using the Ecoline inks again. I actually did a YouTube video for this when I got them. So I'll link that one below if you want to check that one out. It's a little building, I quite like that one. Back to drawing people. So this is when I think I had a break for a while, and I came back and I drew this girl. I feel really bad for her because she definitely has cross eyes. This one, I think I was still trying to do darker skin tones at this point. And then this is another example of where I drew an image and then I realized the structure was off. So I drew it again, and it's still off, but I think it's a little bit better. And it's in a different style too, it's a bit softer. And then these pages I really like. I think I used the watercolor really well here. It's a plane. So then I took a class on Skillshare, and it was about how to paint birds, and it was really cool, and I really wanted to start painting birds. So this was me practicing all the different ways to use my brushes to get like textures and stuff. And then this was the bird. I really like that bird. I think it's really cool. And then I think I was watching, I forgot the lady, but I'll pop her name on screen. She does all these crazy watercolor flowers, and they're all like really cool. And I think I was trying to copy her a little bit, or trying to figure out how she did it. I definitely didn't do that. I kind of gave up after these pages. It's like, maybe flowers aren't my jam. And then I went back to drawing birds again. Well, one more bird. This little one here. It's really cute. Drew a fish. Just cause they're kind of birds of the sea, right? Fish. And then I didn't do watercolor for like a month, and then I came back to it and I had forgotten how to use it. So I did this fish here, and it's just really cartoony and not that great. And then I did this really weird lady, and I kind of messed it up and I got really angry, so I put like a whole bunch of black lines down it. I was like, I'm just gonna cover your black paint. And then I actually really like how it turns out, because she kind of looks like a tiger. And then this is when I got my Daniel Smith watercolors. It was such a good day. I wanted to try them for ages, and they're so lovely. I did a video on YouTube on when I got them, and I drew a portrait of Tessa Violet, so I'll pop that below. I'm not really happy with this portrait, but the watercolors were really fun to use. And then I did a color chart, so with all the different colors, mixing them in different variations and stuff. And back to people, I think, for the rest. So this is Daniel Smith watercolor, and I think the rest of it is. The one thing I did notice about the Daniel Smith watercolor set that I got, which was the essential set, they have only primary colors, and it's quite hard to get a really dark color, like a dark brown or a blackish color. So most of these are quite unnatural colors, so I just kind of like messed around and I put the colors straight onto the page. This is actually gouache here. I had to cover up something I didn't like. I'm really happy with these two pages. Actually, I'm really happy with the rest of the book. This is when I started drawing these little portraits. And I just really wanted to use the gold paint because I hadn't used them for so long. So I did these little gold circles around them. I think they turned out really nice, apart from this one. She has cross eyes. I really love the hair colour. I think it's really fun. And then I did a kind of, this actually was a cover up because I started using the Ecoline inks. I'm not sure if you can see it there, there's like little marks there. But the Ecoline pens, the brush pens, I couldn't get them to like watercolour properly, I couldn't get to the page. So I ended up doing a cover up, and then I put this lady on it with ink, and I did these lines with the watercolour brushes, and I really liked it, so I thought I would do the same on the other side but in a different colour. And then it kind of looks like winter girl and summer girl, so I thought that was kind of fun. And I really like drawing with ink again because I haven't drawn faces in ink for ages. And then this is, you'll probably see this in your nightmares tonight. I started watching Planet Earth and they had these golden snub-nosed monkeys, and I thought they were so nice, the colours were so nice, so I tried to draw them, and it just, they scare me. But this here, this panda, I think is really cute. I really like this panda, it's so soft. I think I kind of want to get away from all this harsh colours with the harsh lines and the lots of white, and try and go more softer in the future and see how that goes, because I quite like this look. And the last page I drew just now. It's an image from a show from Netflix called Good Girls, and I love it, and I just finished it yesterday and it's so good, so check it out, Good Girls, if you haven't seen it. So yeah, that is the sketchbook. It took me 4 months. It is finished and I'm moving on to another one, so I'm pretty excited for that. One thing I would say about this sketchbook is Windsor and Newton. It's okay to use, but sometimes the pages, they don't seem to soak up the paint very well, or the water, so you have to kind of like really work into it, and it's almost like it has like a waxy residue on it. I'm not sure if was me, but I think it's the pages. But yeah, that's one thing to keep an eye out for if you use this in the future. So that's my sketchbook tour. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Check back next week because I'll be having a scrawler box video up. Thanks for watching. Bye.